Hello doers, Jose Ignacio here with another tutorial. Now that you've started using Odoo, let's review that interface. This may seem slightly complicated at first, but it remains the same throughout each app, so you're going to quickly become familiar with it. I pinky promise. Well, pinky. After the following demo, you're going to be navigating through Odoo like a pro. So, now chit-chat, let's jump right into it. So here I am on my main Odoo dashboard. This is where I see all the applications and modules that I've installed. In the top right corner, I can actually see I have a few other icons. Now if we click on this red dot right there, you'll notice that it's a check-in and check-out switch integrated with the attendance app. So to the right of that over here, we have this little phone-looking button. And when I click it, basically lets me know that I have VoIP installed or voice over internet protocol right there. I can also make phone calls from here, as you can tell by this little number pad. The next icon up over here is a nice little chat bubble with a number next to us, which links us to all of our conversations inside of the Discuss module. And if we click on this little clock icon right there, it's all of my activities, along with what each app, each activity is inside of. Now, you'll also notice I have this little tool set icon right there. When I click it, it takes me to a very special option over here. This means that I have Odoo Studio installed, and I can click on this icon in any application to edit the look of the app, and even add new fields if necessary. And that's super cool, right? Now next is a multi-company toggle over here. It's only present if you have multiple companies using the same Odoo database. So as you saw when I clicked this right now, it allowed me to see Stealthywood San Francisco and Stealthywood Chicago. Right now you'll see that I'm inside of our SF office, but you can also see that my Chicago branch uses this database as well. The last icon we have over here is me. It happens to be the profile, the user profile icon. Selecting it over here gets us to a drop-down menu with a few other options. If I were to click on documentation right there, a new tab opens to Odoo.com's user documentation page, which can be very handy, but right now we're not going to go there. So going on to the menu over here, we have our next option. I can also contact Odoo support directly from this menu, as you can see by our support option. Beneath that, I have a shortcuts option. And when I click on that over here, takes me over to this nice little pop-up over here, and I can start to type shortcuts and commands. This pop-up can also be accessed by entering Control K, Command K, depending on your laptop and that type of thing, throughout the whole database. The basic menu can be accessed from the dashboard by typing / as well. So from this window, I can, for example, type a /. And look, we start to get little options right there. Sales. And Odoo gives me the option to navigate directly to it. If I want to reach product variants in a jiffy, all I have to do is type /product. And I'm actually just going to show that real quick. Look at that right there, product V. Boom, done, bam. If I select that, boom, we're right there. We could do this every single time on every single menu in the database. This makes navigating through Odoo even easier. Now remember, you can also do this right from the home screen without any mouse clicks whatsoever. So if I return back over to the home screen over here, and I just start typing in the word sales. Oh, Odoo magic right there. I love that. All right, now let's click away from that, and we're going to remove that pop-up. We're going to reopen our profile icon up again over here, and we're going to move forward. Now, next on the list is dark mode, which, when you select it, changes the color layout of Odoo, the scheme, if you will. But this one's only for cool kids. Cool kids use Odoo dark mode. And it can easily be toggled off because I don't have sunglasses, so I'm not that cool right now. Now, if we open it up once again, we're going to move forward now. I have the option called My Profile over here. And when that's clicked, Odoo takes me over to my Odoo user profile page. So let's go back over here. And that's where you find it. I realized I didn't have the menu up. I'm sorry about that. Lastly, you'll find the final option, which is log out of your database. But I'm going to stay logged in, so I'm not going to log out right now. So we're staying here because from here, I can choose my own language, time zone, and notification settings, as well as other things. Now the notification setting here is crucial, especially if you don't want to receive email notifications from Odoo and instead handle everything inside of the database. In that case, you'd select the option I have now, which is handle in Odoo. If I also go over here to the language field that we have over there, I see that I have it set on English US as my option. As you can imagine, Odoo has the option to load many different languages. Perhaps you have some users from Belgium that only speak French, for instance. In that case, you can install a new language inside of the database from right here using this little globe icon that we have right there and selecting it. But we're already here, so I think it's time for us to add a new language. Now, if I'd like to add the language option, I just have to start typing in my case. I'm going to type in French, And you'll see we have multiple options. I'm going to select French BE for Belgium. If you have Odoo website installed, Odoo will ask you if you would like to translate any website that you made, but we don't need to select any sites right now. So in my case, I'm actually just going to select add. And just like that, Odoo presents me with the option to switch to French once that this loads if I would like to as well. But in my case, I'm going to keep English right now, so we don't need to deal with that at all. So we're actually just going to close that out. Now with that in place, next time I go to my user profile or settings, I can manage users and select a user. I will have French as a language option. That's pretty cool, right? And if you didn't hear me, go to settings, which you can find in configuration and settings. And then you want to manage users and select it and go and select French as your language. You may also see different tabs on the My Profile page for things such as account security, resume, work information, private info, and HR settings as well. By default, however, you will only be able to see the preferences and account security tabs. The others appear when the other Odoo modules like employees and so on are installed. So be sure to check out our HR tutorials for more information on that. Now let's briefly take a look at the account security settings by clicking on the account security tab over here. So inside of here, and I'm going to go through these. The user can basically change their password, which is an option right there. They can toggle the on and off switch for two-factor authentication, which is another option right there. And below that, we also have a couple of other options, which is log out from all devices. Maybe you got robbed. And the ability to create a new API key. Very critical. So right now, though, let's navigate back to the main Odoo dashboard by selecting in the top left corner. And then let's open up the sales application. So in every application, you've noticed there's a little app icon in the top left corner. And when it's clicked, it sends you back to the main dashboard. And in the very same place, if we select it again, it takes us to our previous view. Right back to where we were on the very last page. So let's address the elephant in the room that I know you're asking. What is this up here at the top? Well, this will be present in every application that requires setup when you first start your database. These steps are covered in the individual app tutorials and documentation. But now let's say that I would like to select some of my documents, which are often referred to as records in Odoo. If I click on this little checkbox over here to the left of the word number in the column header, I could select all of the documents or records on the page. And when I do that, a couple more options present themselves at the top. For instance, and I have the option to print. When I click on the print button right there, it gives me more options. It allows me to print them as various documents. I can also have some actions that I can choose from as well. Let's click on the actions button so I can talk about that. And there's quite a lot. In the actions drop-down menu, I have the option to export, which will basically export the selected records. I can even insert them into a spreadsheet, an Odoo spreadsheet. I can even duplicate them or delete them. I also have some sales-specific actions inside of this menu. I can create an accrued revenue entry as well because I have the accounting application installed. I also have the option to cancel quotations in whole, in mass. We can select multiple. I can also even mark quotations as sent or send a cart recovery email as well because I have the e-commerce module installed. But right now, let's deselect all of our records over there. And that's so that I can get the search bar again over here. Now, if I look at my search bar, I see that I already have this automatic filter applied. So Odoo only shows me my quotations. If I remove this by selecting the X over there, which is how you can remove filters, I will see all the quotations inside of my database, not just the ones assigned to me. I can also add some other filters as well by opening the mega drop-down menu, which is a real term right there. I have some standards here that I can choose from if I just want to see basic quotations and stuff like that. I can group them by other options as well. Maybe I want to see quotations from last month. Well, that's actually not going to be a problem. To do that, I'd click on the word create date over here and select the previous month, which in our case now is April. And boom, none. Just like that. But let's assume something else. I wanted to add a group by option to my results as well. If I wanted to, let's pick a month that has some. So let's go back to Q4. Nope. Q3. Nope. Oh, 2023. Let's do Q3 right there. All of them. We have one right there. We can also group them if we would like to by salesperson as well. And once we do that and we move away from here, would you look at that? We have marked demo immediately being shown. And now I can see which salesperson has had some sales orders in the last previous time. And that's all from the search bar. I can basically see